So, as most of you guys are fully aware, Hogwarts Legacy, the release of this game, has allowed us to see just who exactly is absolutely insane. And when it comes to show media websites, we all know that Kotaku's crazy, CBR is crazy, Game Rant is crazy, Screen Rant is usually crazy. We know of all of these websites because of the one simple fact that they all shill for the stuff that obviously everybody else hates. This is how they stay relevant in people's mouths. Now, with that being said, CBR has come out with a absolutely banger of an article that talks about the fact that the LGBTQ plus friendly Hogwarts Legacy alternative called Trans Witches Are Witches has just recently raised $100,000. Yes, apparently there are alternatives being pushed down people's throats regarding Hogwarts Legacy, and if you don't want to play quote unquote that wizard game, you can go play these other games that they promise are absolutely such a banger, and they're charging $60 for the bundle. Now, I don't remember exactly how many games are in this bundle. I think it's like 60 some odd games, maybe 68, 69, I'm not really sure. But I think it's hilarious that they're trying to tout this as a win, considering that it's $100,000 that has to be spread across 50 some odd creators that made 60 some odd games. And when you do the math, that is a mega fail for basically everybody, considering the fact that, yeah, the only way they could sell their games was bundled up that much anyway, because it can't stand on its own like Hogwarts Legacy. But since they want to compare themselves to Hogwarts Legacy, I figured I would do a video exposing their nonsense. So this is going to be a good one, guys. Give me a long view duration. Let's make it happen. So it says, LGBTQ friendly Hogwarts Legacy alternative Trans Witches Are Witches raises $100,000. A collection of indie games by LGBTQ plus creators is being sold as a bundle for the same price as Hogwarts Legacy, and it's reached over $100,000 in sales. Now again, they're going to tout this as a win. Look, this is what they want you to think compares to Hogwarts Legacy. I mean, come on. Seriously, like we're not even, are we in the same discussion? Like, are we seriously doing this? Like, I get it. I understand. You're mad. You feel like the game is bigoted, it's transphobic, but you're really trying to pass off games like this as some sort of competition to Hogwarts Legacy, even in the slightest manner. Like, it could even be in the same discussion as the game. I mean, come on. Like, after a certain point, I understand you guys usually deny reality, but you cannot deny the reality that the Hogwarts Legacy is just destroying all of these games combined. It's not even close, and I'm going to showcase to you guys the numbers, but let's read what good old CBR Shill Media website has to say. Who wrote this article? Let's see. Aaron Solar. Yep. That's a thumbnail. Yep, for sure. God, it's just crazy, man. All right, so let's go back down. So it says, amid the controversy surrounding Hogwarts Legacy, a trans-positive indie alternative, a game bundle called Trans Witches Are Witches, is gaining momentum. Just an FYI, if you have to put the word trans in front of the word witches, and you have to convince yourself that trans witches are witches, guess what? They're not witches. If you have to put trans in it, you have to differentiate. That means you're something different. That means that you actually don't belong and you're trying to invade the space of witches. So you're not really a witch if you have to say trans witches are witches, but you know, that's besides the point. It says the bundle contains 69 games, that's ironic, from 56 different creators, and it costs the same as one copy of Hogwarts Legacy. At the time of writing, it has reached over 100,000 in sales towards its $192,000 goal, as itch.io displays. Trans Witches Are Witches is hosted by Critical, a website dedicated to video games as political and artistic statements. I'm not surprised. The bundle can be purchased through itch.io for $60, but there is also a $10 alternative for those who cannot afford the full product. The less expensive sister bundle contains 66 items as opposed to 69, so there is still plenty of content. So that means to tell me that there's only like 3 games that are worth anything in this entire bundle. The rest is just spam from a bunch of creators that are hoping to get some money from people who are mad. That's all I'm really seeing from this. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this, shall we? You know I like to go a little bit deeper into this, no pun intended. So I actually checked out the website. This is the website right here that showcases where they're actually at in terms monetarily. Now, it says Trans Witches Are Witches, a bundle hosted by Natalie with content from 56 creators. Now, if you guys do the math, let's bring out the good old calculator and let's do some math really quick. So if you take, okay, right now it's at $138,788.48, and you divide that by 56 creators who made all of these games, okay? There's 69 games, but you're going to divide it by creators to see how much each one is getting in terms of this whole debacle, because if you look further down, it actually says all proceeds are split evenly evenly between creators. So you got to remember that. So everybody's going to get an exact cut. So this math is very accurate. If you take that number divided by 56, you're going to get a staggering number of $2,478 per creator. That's what they're trying to tout as a win. These guys who made almost $2,500 from a $140,000 some sort of like GoFundMe kind of thing for their games, because they're trying to take advantage of this whole angry mob of LGBTQ. They're trying to tout that as a win. Now, again, we're going to do some basic math now. If you want to reduce it down to per game, because there's 69 games, we're going to do 138,788 and divide that by good old 69. And you're going to get $2,011 per game that has been sold. So think about that. Each game is worth $2,011. They're trying to put this up against a game that has over 600,000 plus copies sold on just Steam alone at a staggering $60. Take 600,000 copies, times that by $60, and you're going to get a beautiful number of $36 million fucking dollars. You're talking about a game that made $36 million just on Steam alone versus I mean, come on. Are we seriously in this same discussion here? Like, this is not even, I understand you're talking about a AAA game versus all these indie games, but if you're trying to really come out and pretend like you guys are doing something, let's try to actually put the numbers against each other, because I know that's not what you really want to do, because that's going to make your movement seem very minuscule, and it is very minuscule. These numbers for your little GoFundMe thing here, these numbers make sense considering how small your community is, so I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, one of the biggest contributions was $1,000 from one person by itself, with the average being $63 per transaction. So you have only 2,100 people contributed to this. 2,100, I'll give you the exact number, 2,169 people contributed to this nonsense, and that's fine. I'm all for it. It's a free market. If you want to go support trans witches or witches, you're more than free to do so, but I do find it absolutely hilarious that this is hosted by somebody who runs something called Critical, right? So I looked into Critical, and I brought up their website right here, and this is something on Ko-Fi, which I have no idea what the fuck Ko-Fi is. I've never seen this in my life. But I clicked it, and apparently this is kind of like a Patreon sort of a thing where you can tip this person and tip their work and try to find a way to support them. Now, they have only 19 supporters, okay? So this person has 19 supporters, and CBR is trying to tout this as some big win for this person who has, again, 19 supporters on whatever this little fake Patreon, I guess is the LGBTQ version of Patreon. But if you look at the about, it says Critical covers games as political instruments, artistic statements, and cultural objects. The site is maintained by Natalie, who created it in 2013 to write about small games in ways that were not being served by other publications. Critical also hosts the podcast Critical Care, an interview show about games and the humans who make them, in Zero Context, covering the Zero Escape trilogy. So again, this person has been doing this since 2013, has a $3 a month entry, and has 19 supporters. Now, I would suffice to say that the support is not exactly out there for these people. I'm just going to throw that out there. But let's continue the article from CBR. Stick with me. Let's see what they have to say, because they really try to make this seem like a big deal. So it says the description promotes the collection as a way to reject Hogwarts Legacy's bigotry while supporting LGBTQ creators. The same page offers links to support their views, highlighting the goblins as anti-Semitic caricatures and J.K. Rowling's history of transphobia. For players who want to experience the fantasy of wizardry but disagree with Rowling's views, Trans Witches Are Witches offers many alternatives in one package. It offers no alternative, okay? It offers nothing. The entire thing is bullshit. All the games literally are fake, like indie games that are all good. They're not going to offer you anywhere close to the adventure that you're going to get in Hogwarts Legacy. And if you want to psych yourself out and fool yourself, you're more than welcome to do so. I mean, it's a free market, like I said. You can go buy these games and do what you want to do with your money. But let's not pretend like it's going to offer you anywhere fucking close to what Hogwarts Legacy is able to provide. It says the bundle has a wide variety of creations, from a digital tarot deck titled the Arcade Arcanum to a 3D skateboarding game called Magic Trick. There are multiple games involve magical schools and young wizards, like Wizard School, Woes, and Lotus, the Self-Made Witch. Many of the games are explicitly about transgender experiences. Anybody surprised by that? Using fantasy settings as the backdrop, in addition to video games, there are also many tabletop games included in the bundle. Thus, they are meant to be played with a small group or even solo, with only a quick setup and a short session. Again, none of this surprises me, all right? I'm not surprised that most of the games are based on trans experiences. So you're not really playing a wizard or like witchcraft kind of a game. You're playing a trans game. You're playing a transition game. You're playing through the eyes of a trans person and experiencing their transition. That really seems like what you are playing. So this is nowhere near, again, what you would experience in a real game like Hogwarts Legacy. So I think it's very disingenuous, Aaron Solar. I think it's very disingenuous because I can tell you probably identify as non-binary. It's pretty obvious that it seems like you identify as such, but I could be wrong. Not that I really fucking care, but I think it's very disingenuous for you to try to pretend like this is gaining some amazing steam. You think it's really hard for 2,100 people within the LGBTQ community? That probably equates to how many people are mad online. I would imagine if you have to put a number on it, that's about how many people are mad online compared to the vast, overwhelming majority of millions of players between all platforms who are enjoying Hogwarts Legacy and laughing in your face. So listen, if you want to steal the money from 2,100 people, by all means, man, get your bag, but you're not going to convince me or anyone else that this is anything that's really like big for you. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.